Hey y'all. Sound real southern right there. This is Ethereal Aquarian, and I was sitting here thinking about service stuff, just riding these crazy waves that's been going on, trying different like camera angles and stuff, playing with my own camera setup because I'm limited at the time, but I'll get that worked out. For now, I needed some guidance. I pulled some cards, and what come out was pretty moving. So basically, this is kind of like a general divine feminine guidance reading, I would call it. Originally meant for me, but I think that it would be helpful to so many, so I'm going to go ahead and record it. And this is my second time trying to record. I tried to record on my phone. My phone's not holding much memory, so here's on my laptop, and that's why it looks so funky right now. Like I said, bear with me. I'll get that all worked out in time. So, I used my Isis Oracle 5-card Isis wing spread. The first card. What is the real issue for me now on a spiritual level? Okay. This is the artwork on, I love the Isis Oracle. They're so pretty. Rising Sun. A dark phase and struggle is over. A new phase is upon you, one of hope, glory, light, and triumph. It is won through boldness and persistence. You have been through much, and now victory is upon you, beloved. For the divine solar child, a new consciousness within you is born. Kind of like a sun card, speaking on newfound hope, happiness, a triumph of light, through the battle, a victor emerges, kind of a feeling there. I did pull clarifiers because me being, always have stuff to learn, constantly evolving, expanding into and back to source. That's not ever done. But there's levels that I feel like you kind of graduate. So to get the sun card in this spot, I'm like, okay, I need clarifiers, please. Please, please, please. I'm like the little kid that goes, why? So, again, this spot on the spread is the real issue on a spiritual level. So, finding the sun card, finding that complete happiness, the wholeness, the whole 9 yards. My clarifiers for this were 5 of Wands. And this is the Barbieri Tarot. I'm trying to get my angle. Oh, this is such a funky angle, but I was fine. Beautiful artwork. Pretty straightforward. This would be inner for any feminines out there that are alone and just kind of trying to maintain what they feel like would be an emotional balance. However, with the energies over the last week or two, it's not so much been that way. It's just kind of up and down, crazy all over the place. So those inner tit for tat kind of fights that we have. The other I had 3 clarifiers for each card. This is High Priestess. You wouldn't say. But yeah, that makes complete sense. The cool thing about the Barbieri Tarot and its descriptions from the book, which I'm not going to read them all. I'll only read ones that I think might be pertinent or I think are, vital to read. The High Priestess is a very cool little story in the booklet on her. She will give you a glimpse if she deems you worthy. Be prepared on what you want to know and why. If you are prepared, she will tell you the truth. If you are not, she will tell you a lie. The only way you will know the difference is if you are true and honest with yourself. This kind of speaks straight. I can say that this is inner fights. The 5 of Wands. Definitely. I'm alone. I'm not really. There would be nobody externally right now that I could attribute that to. For some of you, you might be able to. Both is usually the case because, you know, the principles tell us, as above, so below, as within, so without. So whatever is, you know, manifesting inside will come out, or whatever's inside will manifest out. That's a better way to say it. That being said, that's probably why I'm staying the F away from people so much. I am isolated a bit. That's a problem. We'll move on to that in a minute. This description for the High Priestess is so spot on and so poetic, and it makes it seem like a riddle more than a challenge or issue or whatever, you know. So for me, when I look at her and all her mysticism and beauty, she's got that scroll in her hand, and it's like Santa Claus with his list of naughty and nice is what popped in my head. But it's like a scroll of truth. It's like, if you want to know what's on this scroll, how honest can you be with yourself? Because she can open it up and read you straight from it and let you know exactly your wishes coming true. Or she can open it up and look like she's reading it and just make something up off the top of her head, and then you just go tra-la-la on off with some, you know, faulty information. But again, this is you. This is you. You are the High Priestess. This is your divine intuition inside your insight, your gut, your, you know, what do you want to be with yourself? It's the hardest thing to do, to sit down and say, you know what? I haven't been all these things that I think I am. I haven't. What do I need to do to work and be better with those things? And also be forgiving of yourself, just like a best friend, just like you want to be for the people in your lives. Find that in your being for yourself. It's hard. It's so hard to think your inner dialogue so, you know, spotted with negativity and false programming and, you know, the way you were raised and all these other things. And I know subconsciously, I don't even realize it sometimes. I'm thinking down about myself. I have to stop and go, whoa, 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 what did I just, you know, did I just have that thought that is true? Because these are the things that I need to eliminate. I need to be consciously aware of what I'm saying on the inside and change it. The Four of Cups was the last clarifier. And this one is really cool. To me, let's see if I can get a good angle. I'll figure out the angle for this one. There we go. It is this guy who is created as a creative force in us. We cannot see how precious, beautiful, good, all the things that we want to see in others, you know, as an empath. I know I see even in, you know, my situations that some people look at me and frown and go, what? Like, coming to terms with being molested when I was younger. Why that happened to me, and now looking at it as an honor. I've had this argument or this conversation with lots of people. How on earth can you look at it as an honor? Well, these are the things that we came here to do. We took this job. We said, I want to go. Now we got here and went, whoa, whoa. Did I say I want to come here? Let's go ahead. Turn around and go back. No. It's hard. This is not an easy path. It's not been an easy path. Honestly, let's just say my life from point A to now has been, if it were a graph on, or if it was graphed out, it would be that high point when I was born, and then it would just slowly decline, and then it'd get to today, and that's what it would look like. Yay, me. I made it, though. I still have a smile on my face most days. I know that there's something coming. I have been on the edge of my seat for like 2 years. I met my twin. That opened up all kinds of lovely things I needed to dive into. Which this is the aftermath of that, and we're in separation right now. But, whoa, whoa, it's not easy. It's not so simple to think I'm beautiful, but want to. I want to very badly. I'm getting there. I had huge epiphanies last night. Whoa. Woke up today, was okay. Slowly got a little worse. Just teeter, 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 totter. You know, I'm ready to get some balance and some real, you know, stability back in my emotional body here. But the Four of Cups in here, there's a star in that window, and not even for sitting there seeing how beautiful you are, but that something you could want or something you could wish for being so far away. Far away is here in your mind. You're only as far away from that star in the sky as you are the material that you are made of. That star is in you. Actively and consciously seeing these things, accepting these things, living these things, believing these things, trust, faith, funny words that all mean the same kind of thing, because our language is just, but, so, you know, the issue being these types of things, I feel like there's probably a lot of divine feminine out there, and I call all of us a divine feminine, whether you're on a twin flame journey or not. We are all divinely feminine. Holler divine. I love divinely feminine. Not trying to trademark Fridge on her, but we all have that in us. That's not something that only is allowed for, you know, the feminine aspect of a twin flame journey couple. That is the yin yang balance that we need within each of us to ascend and evolve and expand as Source would like us to do. We were not put here to suffer. Suffering is all man-made, human concepts, matrix programming shit. So, these things I hold true. Moving on to the next card placement. How can I best heal that in my day-to-day life? Artwork. Try and get this artwork in. Was it shove it in your face? There you go. I love it. The scales of balance. Balancing, give and take, directing and flowing, play and solitude are ways to heal the relationship between the inner masculine and feminine energies. Inner masculine and feminine energies. Just spoke on that. Connection with the body is the most powerful form of healing for the feminine energy, as it holds the secrets to divine feminine wisdom. So dance, sing, and play. I want to go dancing and singing and playing. I don't have any friends. Literally don't have any friends. I've had to actually, a few that I just made thought might be cool, had to cut them off. I don't have to be good with. Never been married. I've done all these things along for a long time. I'm almost 40. Let's just put it that way. So never been, you know, it's just like, if you have come this far to not have a friend. I have a 21-year-old daughter. She don't want to hang out with mom like that. She got a job and boyfriend, all that stuff. So I can't even get a hold of her on a regular basis or with any consistency. So to go out and do these things alone anymore, it bums me out because I see other people enjoying their company. And then I guess I just have a shitty resting bitch face. I know I've been told I need to smile more and stuff. I don't have any lips. and I've been so in my masculine energy for a majority of my life. That being one problem. Raising kids by myself, dealing with the feelings of abandonment, the core issues, all those things. I have really had that masculine energy highlighted throughout my life. So, yeah, sometimes my poker face is a little poker. She's gonna shove the 8 to 10 swords in your That's me and the Aquarius in me. Air joke. We'll do some damage with some swords. I do prefer knives to guns, if that's any truth in saying that air signs and the swords, mental energy. Let me use my mental energy with my stick. I call them sticks. Knives or sticks, get it? Stick. Anyways, the clarifiers for this one with the, you know, the healing these things in my life is balance, which I've already said that aspect, but my clarifiers, of course, because I gotta go deeper, were Ace of Swords, let's see if I am trying to get it on there, King of Cups, and the Death card, which this is one of the most beautiful Death cards I think I've seen in a deck for a long time. Not that I'm impartial or anything, but the Barbieri, Paolo Barbieri is a fantastic artist. I have his calendar, I've got the Oracle deck, I'm going to be getting his book. If Paolo Barbieri comes out with anything that he has touched, he could sneeze on something and I'll probably buy that. I mean, the man, he's good looking, number one. And number two, he is such a beautiful artist. So the way to heal the things from the first position, you know, finding the balance, singing, dancing, playing, and then the inner truth, which kind of is a fallback from the High Priestess, like, duh, but that's us. I used to think of it like this. I knew my grandfather, he passed away, he's been my right-hand man behind the scenes for years now. And it was confirmed with cardinals in a vision, I guess it was 2 years ago. Hadn't seen cardinals around this area for forever. One pops up on the blacktop, and I consciously saw red bird on blacktop as I'm driving, and it hops away, and didn't think anything of it past, wow, I haven't seen one of those birds in a long time. My anxiety was really high that night. This is hours later. I have all my YouTube channels that I devoutly listen to in the background while I'm doing things. That night, my anxiety was high enough I put music on instead of the videos, and I got, while the music was playing, that notification that only quiets the music down for a second while it dings, and then whether it was an email or a text message, I walked over to see, and of course it was an email from YouTube notifying me of an upload. And when I did the drop down, because I didn't open my phone all the way up, just did the drop down thing, it gave me the little snippet picture and the title of the video, but the picture had 2 cardinals, and it was saying if these animals show up too often, what that's a sign of. And so, of course, I'm like, wow, cardinals in the picture. I'm going to go ahead and listen to this one video while I, you know, carry on. And it started listing through all these animals, and it gets to the birds part, you know, falcon, eagle, whatever. And I knew cardinal would be coming up. So I go to my photos, it's like just getting to it, and first thing it says is a fatherly figure from the other side wants you to know that you are loved and taken care of and on the right path, and to keep going. And I almost collapsed because in the back of my mind there was some not instant karma things, but some karmic paybacks. I mean, they were kind of like, I didn't know how to describe it at the time, but you know, basically some people that was messing with me or had messed with me got some just dues. And like those moments when I was like, what the hell, what did I do to deserve, you know? And I know that I put myself vibrationally in every situation. Now I do. Then I probably didn't. I lived in victimhood until, well, about 2 a.m. this morning. But there are some things that you just feel like, damn, really? So when these entities and people, whatever, something happened, I would say was that karmic justice, I thought, man, this is a lot like my grandpa behind the scenes, making things happen. Found out later on he was way more awoke than I thought. And I wished while he was here we could have spoke more in the 3D on the matter, but I wasn't, you know, awakened when he was here. So, you know, shoulda, woulda, coulda. We are opening that relationship up now better than ever, which he is like, wow, making big things happen for me on that realm. I know that without a shadow of a doubt now. But just wanting things in our life that happiness, they're not pentacles. They're definitely your cups. They're not things that you can so much define. I can define happiness as something that brings me elation or whatever, but we're talking about, what is that even? At the moment, I would say a strong, relationship would help. But would it? I don't know. It's hard to say. So that's why it is so important to go within and find it there. That I see clearly. Last night, my freaking heart felt like it was going to jump out of my chest. I was so happy with myself. Big epiphanies, huge epiphanies last night about that whole loving yourself and living in that victimhood state and all those things. Not having to worry about karma, letting things be healed, being truthful with yourself. Your Ace of Swords says your truth is of a number one paramount ace type importance. How important does it need to be in your life? The same way. How is it in your guide's life? Same source. This is how important it is that you have the same love for yourself that you would anyone. It's Ace of Swords important. Without it, your defense, your sword, your way of navigating through this is that your defense is gone. You're open. You're a victim. That King of Cups, balancing that out, that masculine emotional side of me that has been the forefront of my life, allowing me to be a single mom and allowing me to, walk to work for a year before I had a car. Just all the stuff that I've done in my lifetime where I couldn't be soft, I couldn't be squishy, I couldn't be that feminine person that I'd like to be. Because, well, it's a man's world. And this part of me is very much in need of balance. You can see him, he's like, when do I get some attention? When do I get to be cool? Just laying in the, I'm just going to stand here and hold this wall up since that's the only job I got. That's the feeling I get from this card. He's almost like pouting because he never gets attention, which I don't. I'm very affection starved. It's a thing. Sometimes a girl just needs a hug. A big hug that lasts about a month. Maybe 2. I mean, I'm really affection starved. And then the Death card. That balance that you would... What is shed once you find that balance? That transformation that naturally occurs based off of a grounding, balancing, chakra alignment that pulls you through another dimension. It almost looks like she's reaching through from one dimension to another, trying to touch the transformative energies that are available to her. It's coming right out of her forehead even. And any of y'all that listens to Chanel Bader, does she just kind of look like Chanel a little bit? I was thinking a little bit. I've been seeing the likenesses of other readers myself, people in my life, in the cards, like in the illustrations on some decks that I've seen on other readers, mine. It's crazy. Hey, Spirit will come through one way or another, let you know. The next card position is, what will the gift or outcome of this be? So, all these things happen, say, we've got some graduations coming up. Initiation was the gift or outcome. Beautiful artwork. Initiation. Initiation. Whew. That's a funny word to say. When you are being initiated into the divine mysteries of light, love, and power, there are moments of profound challenge. The key is to find the light within the challenge, the opportunity for growth that can transform any challenge into an experience of healing. With compassion and cleverness, you will not burn during your challenges. You shall thrive. That is no joke. I've experienced several times throughout. I mean, to this point, I've had my aha moments. I've probably been awakening since before 2011. Didn't actively know that's what was going on, but had triggering moments that I look back on and go, oh, that's what that was. And everything relates. Fibonacci says, spiral out, hit back, come back and do it again. Spiraling, spiraling, spiraling. Everything circles, cycles back around. So it all is relatable. Initiation, when you're, able to look at your downside and say, this lesson was learned, this is why I needed this lesson. So the outcome, gift, when you are initiated, the first clarified card was the Lovers, which this again, a beautiful couple. There highlighted another card in the deck also. This Lovers card is very pretty. I love it. His wings are out and the feathers are everywhere. And one of the cards, I think it's the other Three of Cups that they're on, she says something like he's kind of clumsy for an angel or something like that, but she still loves him. And all the angel or the feathers that are like all over the little signs and stuff. It's that balance. Even though his wings are out, there's feathers everywhere, kind of making his presence more predominant in the picture. That is still, I still see balance. So it's such a perfect balance in them. Like I feel at home in this image. This is what I would love to attain in a relationships, and an outward physical relationship, of course. Inwardly, I'm striving. I'm striving for orbs being feathers and sitting down and knowing without a shadow of a doubt the energy in the room is there present for me, and how beautiful and gracious I can be in that moment. Because I had a little taste of it last night, and I've had several, tits, little spatters of them throughout the years. But to live in that at such a level and maintain it that's what yes, please. The Three of Wands, ships is coming in, and this one, she's looking at you're looking at yourself in what looks like to me the opening of a volcano. That is the fire below. Any Bob Seger fans know you got the fire. Who's got the fire down? You got the fire down below. Ships are nowhere in this picture. There's a little bit of a bright sun behind her, but my eyes are always drawn down here. And this is most definitely the fire you have down below. It's igniting that, which will be the domino effect of ships coming in, things looking, determination. There's no wand even in this. This is the wands. This is not a this is not a swords card. This is the Three of Wands, but she's got her sword. Because in this instance, there's no need for the wands when that fire is here. Your ships, your metaphoric ships, are all in your mind's eye. Balance, find your good stuff, initiation into, and magic happens. And then the most beautiful of the clarifying cards on this one was Queen of Pentacles. So here's your, gift outcome for this hard work put in up to this. You get initiation into the Queen, Eye on the prize, ladies. She's really cool. This Queen of Pentacles is really cool. Anybody who has seen the Barbieri Oracle deck, the Aquarius card, which I'm an Aquarius, has these two arms that look like they've got waterfalls coming out of them. His arms are like shield waterfalls. It's like the most coolest looking thing ever. Well, if you look at her garb here, it looks like, she loses her arms in her sleeves or something. Very much like a mirror type or born from one into the other idea of the arms being part of the character, part of the garb. I don't know, but very cool how this was the crowning clarifier on this. I want to be the Queen of Pentacles just like her when I grow up. When I grow up, I want to be just like you, Miss Queen of Pentacles. You're really cool. And she's got that really cool headdress thing. Yeah, I couldn't wear that, but, It's all right. I've already made peace with that a long time ago. I'm cool with it. I love my body. Love my body. Physical part of, the self-deprecating, or that I at least had handled it to a maintainable, and now, I mean, I'm great gravy on my body image thing. That part sucks too when you are in that body image plus the inner turmoil that we have. Person comes so broken into this world. We are so broken. So reclaiming the brokenness in us, repurposing and transmuting that is the journey here. Woo-wee. Not easy at all. Our fourth placement, what is the biggest challenge or opportunity for me to get to the best outcome? This is the Talisman of Potency. Can't really get the good angle here. I'm just trying. Yeah. Okay. Sacred tools and objects can become an extension of your energy field, focusing your power and intention, helping you heal the split between spirit and matter, bringing physical matter more deeply into light and life. You are encouraged to work with sacred materials in a conscious way to help your own healing and enjoyment of the material world as a part of your spiritual practice. And that is something at first I really just kind of ignored, but now, in light of how I've been fooling myself, not really being my high priestess, ace of swords self, in that light, okay, gotcha. I've got my crystals available. I've got, other things, my oils, been smudging more, trying to, make sure the energies in the air are more high vibrational. These things, working with the elements, I have a waterfall little fountain thing on my table, incense burnings, those kinds of things, because they are just like the card says, they're sacred tools. They're an extension of the energy field. They extend it. They send it out further than we think, as tools, symbols of other things too. If you want to speak to someone in particular who is not physically with you, like a divine masculine, you might have something with you that reminds you of him. It doesn't even have to be something that he owned or had or whatever. Just, this little key I have on my laptop, I made this. This is like part of from my jewelry making stuff, but it's a key with his Aries little thing on it. Because one day I'll have an Aquarius one on there too. And this will be the key that unlocks the abundance that I seek. And it's just for focus. It's for intention, putting intention into something, but not, it's a small key. It's not, something that it's going to take up all of my memory. That was the idea with the key, to keep it right-sized. The clarifiers on the biggest challenge or opportunity for me to get the outcome was the Seven of Pentacles, which Seven of Pentacles in this deck speaks onto me, like, the first, slow down, slow down, Tito, down. Like, she's not messing around, which is fine for the most part. It's kind of like a soul retrieval beckoning on this card for me. It says, this is where I've been. You're not going to get by me. And if you do, I've got this buddy back here. You're not going to get by him. And that is how guarded we often are. This is a challenge because we often don't realize what we're doing because we've done it it's automatic. Now, if she took off her armor a little bit, she doesn't have much on, but take it off, pull the cloak down, let's talk about it, okay? Dragon, that's in the background there, in soul retrieval, whenever a shaman puts you in the trance-like state to go into that realm with you, your pieces of soul that they're going to find are often being guarded by the creatures like dragons. So this to me is definitely speaking on, if you need something to help you get to a certain point in your spiritual, it is okay to request a shaman's help. Shamans do use talismans and things like that in their rituals so that they can get the oogie boogie dragons and things that are creeping around in that realm, guarding what at one point was there very necessarily to help keep you sane and whole. But now that you are an adult and can do those things basically on your own, you need to go back and get those chunks of your soul back. These guys are guarding it. Don't let yourself guard the things that are now no longer serving you. Perfect example of walking away from those things that don't. You might need help. Okay? Not that guy, the other guy. So you can get past that guy and yourself. The Knight of Wands. So this being a challenge or opportunity, to me, this would be at the end of the soul retrieval, because if you're not a shaman, you will most likely need to find a energetic healer of some sort to do a soul retrieval with you. By the end of it, this is cool to me. Okay, so the end of it says, that little guy, he's so cute. Soul retrieval done. He no longer is guarding the little bit. You guys are like taking things on to get. That's the same dragon guy. Here he's guarding your soul, and now here you are enjoying life together, taking on other big things. Now, if we wanted to go back even one step more into that Three of Wands, what is he doing? You've done grabbed that dragon, tamed him, rode him, and put your own fire into your own butt to get yourself into a spot. This is self-motivation. This is putting verbs in your sentences and making great things happen, because who doesn't want to tame a dragon and ride it? What, yo? That is awesome. I want a fire-breathing dragon to be my best friend. Like, I would so name him Falcor, and I know that he was a luck dragon. He wasn't a fire-breathing dragon, but I would still name him Falcor. We would be so inseparable. He'd be my best friend. He would act like a luck dragon when I wanted him to, but then on the other occasions when we want to just be cool, he would look like that. He could like do that, because that's my fantasy. Don't steal my fantasy. I said that. Anyways, that was the story I really picked up from these cards. I mean, this story is just playing out exactly, I mean, as that. I did not pull these, specifically. This was all straightful. I shuffled and cut, and then, did not, by any stretch of the imagination, pull any of these intentionally. I wished I would have, recorded it from shuffling, but I just was looking for some guidance for myself, but felt like I really needed to share it. So here we are. We've got over our soul retrieval, tamed the beast, and the 10 of Wands. There you are. So there's your outcome. He's got some burdens, and you can see it in his face. You can see it out of his back. You can get your dragon buddy to just shave that right on off for you. You'd be a world better. Drop that off. Yep. All related. Them 10 Wands, cycle's completed. We are moving on to the last card position, which is what special guidance is there to help me resolve this in the best way now. This was guidance to resolve in the best way. Eye of Horus. The Eye of Horus brings divine perception, protection, and insight. You are gifted with certain spiritual abilities, including divine sight, that are awakening and growing now. You have much divine support and protection so that you may grow your abilities and serve others with your divine gifts. Trust your perception and know that you are divinely protected. Last night, the clairaudience thing, my ears have been ringing. I've heard it described as ringing, but mine haven't been ringing. Mine have sounded like sleeping in a tent, like I'm out camping. The crickets will not be quiet. It's been like that for like 2 years now, at different level, volume levels, but pretty consistently. Last night, I had that huge epiphany, did some meditation on the heart chakra, led me into all kinds of Fibonacci type moments where things were circling around from years ago. But the cricket stopped, and I actually did get what it was muffled. I couldn't make out what the words were, but I could hear of, somebody speaking to me. Almost as if it was it was like it was in the room. But again, very muffled. I spoke to it, and it was speaking back, but I couldn't really make out. I tried. I need to fine tune that, obviously. Need to be on the right, vibrations. I've had claircognizance more predominantly without fail. I can't say without fail. That gift has been with me when my vibrations have been right on point the longest. Things just spill out of my mouth. I'm like, oh. And then within 3 days, these things have come true. And it's crazy, too. People hate that. The people that I've dealt with have hated it. Not made me any friends, but they were warnings, mostly. Me simply wanting them to be insightful on their own behalf. And then, look at me with my low boundaries and poor self-worth. We're working on it. The best advice comes from people who probably have the most problems, is the way I gathered that little bit of worldly wisdom there. I'm no exception. The Eye of Horus was clarified in this reading by Page of Pentacles, or the Knave of Pentacles in this deck. I love that she's feminine. I love that she is fully armored up, because we saw earlier with the Seven of Pentacles that she didn't hardly have any armor on. This one is like ready for battle, but this is a knave that you can certainly send into a battle and not feel like they're going to get all torn up. So for me, having this in this position, special guidance to resolve the whole deal, you're going to probably come into battle with you. This is what you'll need. A shaman can take on the little leathers and, cheeky cheeky boo boo, you're so bad. Well, yes, you are. But for you to go in on your own behalf, be ready. It's not easy. This is war. But know that when you come out, you'll be a knight. Two of Pentacles. Integration. That's what this speaks on to me. The gatekeeper that knows what's on both sides of the gate. Stand here, go inside, be prepared either way. Integration. Taking your lessons, knowing where they came from, and applying them. Not baggage, lessons. And then lastly, relying on the universe to do its job too. This is the Wheel of Fortune in this deck. Inside the crystal ball, what is awaiting you? If only you believe. Ride Falcor into the gate with the sun shining on the other side of it, because it doesn't matter. Fear is an illusion. Pain, illusion. Man-made concepts. Source put us here not to suffer, but to live prosperously and lovingly. And there was influences to make it not that way. Not Source, though. Source is love. Purest and most, intense form of love. Get back to Source. That's what this is all about. The further away from love, the closer we are to dying. And that's literally how it can be applied to anything when you look at it in the sense of death as the card of the tarot. Do we die? Sometimes we do die. Well, we do die. Not today, hopefully. But metaphorically dying or metaphysically dying is a concept that not literally, but allows us to apply everything to each other. You know, the world in the crystal ball is just that, a world in a crystal ball, but what makes it real is you. Who says it's not? Who? That crystal ball is real. What's inside the crystal ball? Very real. Don't think that it isn't. You know, we are so much greater than we were ever led to believe. More powerful, more beautiful than we were ever made to feel the other way of. You know, it's so... The feeling of that alignment and that vibration of love is like, I mean, it feels like your heart's gonna burst out of your chest in a good way. Like, I remember last night as I was, you know, giving a prayer and having a few words with my spirits and spirit guides, thanking them. Now, I love that this is the feeling at the moment. Would you please not allow my heart to actually burst through my chest? Because that would be great. That seems like a lot of mess. And if I'm in such a good mood at the moment, I really don't want to be messy, you know, that kind of mess. But that's the overall sensation. I mean, please, Spirit, don't let it burst out of my chest. It feels like it could. And I do know that wonderful things happen at that moment when you think you are. When you think I open up my mouth, it's going to upchuck the heart chakra. Wonderful things happen at that point. This is where ideas are birthed. Creativity comes full circle. Fibonacci in it. I love it. Manifest the hell out of things. Anything you want at that moment. Meditate on a good heart chakra meditation. Get some key flow. Shout out to the Crow Tarot on the Kiki thing. I left my message with her last night too. Huge epiphanies. The bottom of the deck on the Oracle was, I always look, it's like an underlying or overarching energy. This was really what kind of christened, for me this was a christening, or centered, I should say, the Chariot of Ascension. And it's subtitled Merkaba, which in the heart chakra, that is where your vessel is. A spiritual practice has come or is soon coming to your attention that will help your soul journey. Take your time to develop and practice your chosen spiritual discipline regularly. This will help you grow in power and grace, anchoring the spiritual light within the body of your soul. And I did have a clairaudient moment last night for the first time, and how blessed I am to be given now two. It will be if I can get both of them in the right vibrational field and harness them for good, not evil. I'm really excited about what that's going to unfold for me. Also, in all of my epiphanies, I did come up with a more specific route for my service to the collective, and that is something I'm very, very excited for. There is on my page a topic under the community tab for discussion, kind of getting some ideas. I don't know if anyone else is familiar with my concept there, so if you go to that tab and have any input, I greatly appreciate that. If you like this reading, please like, share, subscribe, and there'll be more to come. I'm going to start doing my readings a lot more frequently because they do help me. So, till we meet again, Ethereal Aquarian out.